I'm back with our friend Ze'ev Orenstein, Director of International Affairs at the City of David Foundation based in Jerusalem. Ze'ev, you mentioned this idea that is articulated by Hamas, by a lot of the other radical Islamic groups, that Israel is a colonial occupier of the land that we call Israel. Israel sort of doesn't belong there. It seized that land by force, and its presence there is illegitimate. Now, let's think about this for a moment historically, because the lands of the Middle East were originally Jewish, then they became Roman, then a lot of them were Christian, places like Jordan. Islam comes along in the 7th century and conquers those regions. So what I find kind of amusing is that you have Islam, which was itself a colonial power, an invader, a conqueror, an occupier, and really proud of it. I mean, the conquests of Islam are celebrated in the annals of Islamic writings through the centuries. And so isn't it interesting that you've now got this rhetoric, which almost seems to me a modern Western rhetoric, the rhetoric of treating colonialism as bad and treating the victims as good. And it's interesting that the radical Muslims have learned this language, which was invented in the West.
I think that one of the reasons why they use that language, and you see it in particular on university campuses, in the media today, is they use the language that will resonate with the people that they are trying to convince. It's not that they believe in Western liberalism or any of these values, but if that happens to resonate with getting political support, be it at the United Nations or on university campuses, they will use that rhetoric. And it's ironic also because there's virtually not a single grain of sand in the Middle East that Islam has had control over that did not come via the sword. So the idea that somehow they're a pacifist, that Hamas is really just a bunch of nice people that are misunderstood, obviously that is not the case. And if anyone needed any proof of that, just look at what's happened over the last few days here in Israel, which has been really almost no words to describe the barbarism, the inhumanity that has been displayed.
Are you seeing, Ze'ev, that in Israel now there is a coming together of the Israeli people? I say this because something of the sort happened at 9/11 in the United States, as you know. And yet Israel, like America, has been quite a politically divided society. Netanyahu, undoubtedly a controversial figure. But what is the sentiment in Israel now as you look kind of across the political spectrum? How are people... Are those rivalries now somewhat muted in a common project to defeat Hamas?
Yeah, one of the, I would say without a doubt, one of the reasons that led to this attack was the sense of disunity within Israel, the political strife and divisions that were tearing apart Israeli society over the last number of months. And I imagine that Hamas and Iran, which sponsored everything that's happened over the last couple of days, they believe that Israel is at a weak point. And their big mistake, which they'll realize in the days, weeks, and months to come, is that they have actually helped to reunify our society. And when the Jewish people, when Israel is united, nothing will break us. It doesn't mean that we have not suffered a very difficult blow that will take many years and generations to recover from. But once we're a united society, the acts of kindness, the wall-to-wall support, and just keep in mind, it's different from America. Israel just called up 360,000 reserve soldiers, which means that virtually all able-bodied males beneath the age of 40 or so, they're all serving on the front lines right now. Meaning all teenage and young adult sons are on the front lines, fathers, husbands on the front lines. This is not where you have a small percentage of society that serves in the military. This is the entire country now is on the front lines. And those who aren't on the front lines, I can speak about my family, but my family is just one example of pretty much every family in this country, finding ways to do acts of kindness. How can you be doing something to help, whether it's the soldiers, whether it's the families who are in need right now from the South who have faced such terrible loss? What can you be doing? No one is sitting home watching Netflix right now. Everyone is finding a way to contribute to strengthening the home front, strengthening unity amongst people here in Israel, finding ways to just be a part of the effort here. There are the fighters, and then there are those who support the fighters. And everyone in this nation right now is in some way in one of those two categories. There is no one who is just sitting on the sidelines. And it's a beautiful thing to see. It's tragic, whether it takes a 9/11 or something that just happened here in Israel to bring that about. But when it does express itself, it's a beautiful thing, and it's truly an unstoppable force. And in many ways now, I think that the nation is going to hopefully be leading our leaders and showing that the nation is strong. The nation wants to fight. We're united. We're ready to dig in for whatever is necessary, as long as our leaders do what needs to be done, both our military leaders and our political leaders. But the nation is unified and strong and ready for whatever sacrifices need to be made in order to end this threat once and for all.
We'll be right back with Ze'ev Orenstein, Director of International Affairs at the City of David Foundation based in Jerusalem. You don't have to live with aches and pains. There is a better way. Debbie and I are proof of this. We started taking Relief Factor a couple of years ago, and we've seen a huge difference in our joints. Nothing short of amazing. Aches and pains are totally gone thanks to this 100% drug-free solution called Relief Factor. How does it work? Relief Factor supports your body's fight against inflammation. That's the source of aches and pains. More than 1 million people have tried Relief Factor. About 70% have gone on to order more, to become regular customers. Debbie's a true believer. She can now do exercises, push-ups, planks, and so on that for a long time she wasn't able to do. So Relief Factor has been a real game changer for her, her aunt, other members of our family, Mike here in the studio, and for many other people. You too can benefit. Try it for yourself. Order the 3-week quick start for the discounted price of just $19.95. Go to relieffactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF to find out more about this offer. The number again to call, 800-4RELIEF, or go to relieffactor.com. Feel the difference.